Hi guys, Lori here. I'm here today to do my January read. I am so proud of myself this month. I finished 14 books in 1 month. That has never happened to me before. In defense of the reading gods, there was like one novella and one comic book thrown in there, but I had a lot of time off this month, so I got a lot of readings on. I know I will not read anywhere close to that in February, but I'm going to let you guys know what I read this month and my brief thoughts. Almost all of these have book reviews on my channel, so you can go and watch those. The only one that doesn't is Harry Potter, and I'm going to do a big subsequent series review when I'm done with all 7 books at the end. But the first book I completed in January was Unmade by Sarah Reed. This was definitely one of my favorite books of the series. I had a lot of issues with the first 2 books, but I think it took me 2 books to adjust to her writing style and really understand her humor and her wit, and I think I really appreciated it. I also really appreciated the book because it was so drastically different from anything else I've read in the paranormal romance department. I was really, really impressed with Sarah Rees Brennan, how she ended it and what became of all the characters because it was so different and so unique. I couldn't predict anything in the book, and that really surprised me because normally in paranormal romance is there's a pattern. The pattern happened, but it deviated so quick at the start. I was really, really happy with it. So I highly recommend if you were a little bit iffy with the first 2 books in the series, read this book because it was really, really, really good. The next book I completed in January was Vicious by Sarah Shepard, which is the completion to the Pretty Little Liars series. Someone corrected me. This is the 13th book, not the 16th book. Again, thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. I really love this book. As you guys go to my detailed review where I talk spoilers, but I love this. I was such a great conclusion, so satisfactory to find out what happened to these characters because I love them so much. And hopefully I'll be able to read the 2 other series that I have by Sarah Shepard on my shelf this year. One's called The Perfectionist and one's called The Heiress, and they're both murder mysteries. But yeah, this is 5 stars. Adored it, loved it. Can't wait to read more. And of course, I'm still highly addicted to the television show, but it was a great way to end the series. The next thing I read was Countdown. This is part of the Unstoppable series, and it's again part of the 39 Clue series. It was the final book in that series. They're coming out with a new book, a new series in March, and I think it's called something to do with like Great Life's Mysteries. I'll put the name in it below. But I really liked it. It was a great conclusion. I just love these characters. They're so fun, and I'm like so invested in the series. And I know the next series does not follow Amy and Dan, so I'm excited to see who the new lead is and what happens in that subsequent series. But it was really good, a great conclusion. And again, I know like I was happy to see how the book ended up. Like it surprised me. So that made me really, really happy. These books are great for kids that need to learn about history because it does it in a really creative and interesting way. If you guys want a more detailed series about the entire 39 Clue series, I think right now there's 4 series, three's out, the 4th one's coming out. Just let me know and I'll do a longer review. But they're really, really good, especially if you need to teach your kids about history in fun and creative ways. Teachers, they also make great resources. The next thing that I completed in January was The Key Lime Pine Murder by Joanne Fuqua. Like all the Joanne Fuqua books, I give it 4 stars. The mysteries are not as strong as I would like them to be, but then again, the world building is so special. Like I feel like I could go to like eat like where she lives and just live there. That's how well crafted this world is. So I really liked it. I love the progression of all the relationships. I love the recipes, and I love just the hometown drama. I think I want to go and move to that town in Minnesota, but I think it would be a really, really cool place to live. But it sounds very, very quaint. So again, I gave it 4 stars. Very good. If you want just a fun series, I think I said it on my Goodreads account. It's like a good pair of jeans. Like they just are fun. They're quick reads. They're really easy. I have a feeling now that I'm back to school, I'll be reading a lot of these just because they're quick. And the next thing I read was Fiery Heart by Rochelle Mead. It made me so happy to finally read this book. I started this series over the summer and I just had so many other things to read. I got really distracted. but I was really happy to see where the book progressed and what happened in it. I really loved finally getting Adrian's perspective in chapters. That made me so happy. And I was kind of curious why that was going to happen, and at the end it became really, really obvious. Check out my non-spoiler review and my spoiler review if you want to talk details. I won't give them here, but I do in those reviews. But it was really good, and it was so, so good that I had to read Silver Shadows after it, which is the next book that I read. I really love this book. I even loved this book more. And I know a lot of people had issues with it because it wasn't like action heavy, but I really liked it because it showed the cruelness of the alchemist world, and it also showed, it really brought out the truth of Adrian and Sydney in different ways. And I like that a lot, and I like the progression. I'm really excited for the conclusion to the series, Ruby Circle. It comes out this month. I'm going to have to wait until it goes to my library so I can get it fit, so I can get to read it. But yeah, I'm really excited. And it was a very, very strong book in my opinion. I actually like this better than Fiery Heart. But it was really, really good. I thought it was a very, very good book, and I set up the conclusion to the series really, really well. And I also just found out that Richelle Mead is writing a standalone book that will be coming out later this year, and it has to do, I think, with ancient Chinese mythology, that's where the book's set. So I'm really excited to see what she does next. But right now, I'm really excited to complete the Bloodline series. The next thing I read was The Candy Cane Murder by Joanne Fuqua. I will admit I kind of cheated on this one. The Candy Cane Murder by Joanne Fuqua is actually three different stories by three different authors, and I only read the Joanne Fuqua one just because I didn't have enough time to go back and read all the subsequent series. But I really, hopefully maybe around Christmas time I will. I was on a kick to read her, and I just really just wanted to finish the story really fast, to read everything in order. Um, but yeah, so that is why I didn't read all those stories. But it was really good. 3 stars, really, really quick read. And the next thing that I read was All the Bright Places by Jennifer. I thought really, really realistic. Check out my non-spoiler review below, but it basically follows Finn and Violet, who meet on top of a bell tower. They're kind of like contemplating suicide, both of them, but in very different ways. And that's what the progression of the book is. I really liked it. I liked a lot of things about it. I I liked the dual perspectives. I liked how they were each kind of counting down something throughout the whole book, and you never kind of knew what it was, and it changed throughout it too. And I liked the minor characters, like the parents and the friends, and I thought that was really interesting. And I love the progression about finding your own identity when something tragic happens. Can you do that? Can't you do that? And what really happens? So I really like this book. Again, it's a little bit on the heavy side, so if you don't want an emotional read, don't read it because you'll be a little bit disappointed. But I really, really liked it. I thought it was hauntingly realistic and really, really sad, but a really good read, especially if you're in the bouts of depression or know someone that is. And this kind of gives you a look into their world, in a sense. Two very different looks into a world, but into that world. So it was a very good read. Check out my non-spoiler review if you want more information. And the next thing I read, I have been wanting to do this forever, was reread Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. This is probably one of my all-time series of all time. I loved it. It was amazing. And it just, like, reading it, I, like, picked up on things that I, like, never noticed before. Stuff that, like, I've read this book at least 9 times. So it was nice to, like, now that I know the ending of the series, to, like, make connections and say, like, that's what that means. And, so that was really, really exciting. So hopefully I'll be able to read a book a month, and in the next 7 months I'll be able to read the complete series again, and then watch all the movies, which is on my to-do list for 2015. And the next thing I read was my first comic book ever, and it's the Flash Rebirth series. Yeah, the Flash Rebirth series by Geoff something. I really like this comic book. I think the next comic book I read is gonna have to be the start of a series and start of an anthology. I have been watching the Flash television show, but the comic book is so far different or so far advanced than what I was seeing with it that I got really, really lost and really, really confused. But I liked it. I just think I need to start something from the first time I read something. So that's gonna hopefully be what I do next. I would like to continue the Flash series. I just think I need to try to get the first collection of comic books in that series, because I really like it. I just felt like I was coming in like a little bit lost, and I don't want that to happen. But I really liked it overall. Gave it 3 stars. It just confused me, like what had happened before that I missed. That makes any sense? So that's kind of. I'm really hoping they come out with a Flash comic book based on the TV show, because I think I'll be able to follow that a lot better. But yeah, I was confused reading it. But the next thing I read, also by Joanne Fuka, was The Carrot Cake Murder. I really like this book. I gave it 4 stars. Again, it was a great continuation of the world and meeting these characters and just seeing the other things they get themselves thrown into. I know a lot of people have problems with the series because they think it's like so unrealistic, but I just love the world building and I love how she solves the mysteries and I just love the small town atmosphere. That's why I really love this series and why I continue to read it. But I don't do reviews on them because the mysteries are so weak. But other than that, I just love the world building. I love the characters. And the next thing I read is more on a really to know because I love this television show as well. It's Keep Your Frenemies Closer, which is the companion book to the Foster's television show, which is currently on ABC Family. I really like this book. It basically follows the lead character Callie that's on the television show. And if you haven't watched The Fosters, I highly recommend it. It's a great watch. Really, really like groundbreaking television. I know people say that a lot, but it really is. So I think I'm gonna do a full spoiler review of the book, so keep an eye out for that. But the book basically follows Liko Carly as she goes on like a retreat for the weekend, and she meets some new characters and some old characters that are kind of in the television show. And it's a really, really good read, and I liked it a lot. It was fast, it was quick. I really hope they make this a series and you follow like side adventures that wouldn't necessarily make it on television, but would be really good. For people that want to know, I'm pretty sure this takes place right before the 3rd season because they mentioned a character that was introduced in that season. So I'm pretty sure it happens right in the middle of the season that we are currently in. So I hope you guys like it and keep an eye out for my spoiler review that I'm gonna do in about a day or two. So, and the last thing I completed this month was A Night So Dark, which is by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. And this is the mini novella that ties together These Broken Stars and This Shattered World, which is part of the a Starbound novel. I read These Broken Stars last year. I really, really liked it. And this basically told the story of why Tarver became a hero and what happened that night. And it also is trying to link The Shattered World, which I'm going to read next month together. Really liked it. I really wish I would have reread These Broken Stars, but I didn't have time. I'm not going to have time anytime soon. But maybe I'll read The Shattered World and then I'll try to get the audiobooks as well. But I really, really liked it. And then after that, I started reading Silent in the Grave by Diana Rayburn. And check out my February TBR video to hear more about Silent in the Grave and more about the audiobooks that I'm going to be continuing to read. I didn't finish my audiobook this month, unfortunately. I tried really, really hard, but I will get more into that in my February TBR. Again, book likes, Goodreads, all down below. Hope you guys are having a great day. Let me know what you guys read this month. Did you guys get a lot of reading done like I did? I am personally so proud of myself. Or did you guys kind of fall off the wagon because you guys had a lot of time off? It's one of two things that happens in January. But I really hope you guys are having a good day. Let me know what you guys liked reading in January and what you hope to read in February. And I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Bye.